So before I even get going on my appointment, I need to look up what bus route I need to take. So I know I'm going to bike for part of the way, but first I want to look up on the Muncie, Indiana Transit System website and figure out what routes are available for me to get from the Central Business District to the hospital. So I click on Routes and Schedules. And from here, it's going to load all of the routes that are available in the city. And it's a spoken wheel system, so we have to be conscious of that and the fact that it's going to have to start from the downtown transit center. But I figure out that it's route number 2 that I need to take. It's the Ball State Jackson route. So I go to the drop-down bar, select that route, and we're going to load the schedule and the maps for that specific route. And here we are. So we have all the available times to me. I'm going to go in kind of the late afternoon, so I'll probably catch the 3 o'clock bus from the transit center. But we see it goes from the transit center to all of these different places. And so I know that I'm going to have to go to the McKinley at Jackson stop, and that's how I'm going to be able to go from there to bike on to my doctor's appointment. I'm starting my journey in downtown Muncie. I've left my apartment and am taking my bike to the downtown MITS transfer station. From there, I'm going to take a bus to Ball Memorial Hospital where my doctor's appointment is. So here we go. Ball State Jackson is going to be the bus that I take. It's the number 2, and I'm going to throw my bike on the bike rack as it pulls up. Just got on the number 2 bus going to the hospital. My bike is right up front, and I got my stuff, and we're going to be there in about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so we are arriving at our stop. I'm going to go ahead and let the driver know that we want to stop here, and we're getting off at the hospital. All right, so I got the bike off the bus. The bus is heading down that way. That's the one that I just got off of, and the hospital's down here. So for reference, we just came from downtown, and now we're around like the Burris area. So I'm going to bike for a couple of blocks, and then we'll be at my appointment. Coming up on the hospital, there's kind of a lot of traffic, so we're staying on the sidewalk for biking, but yeah, coming up to a 4-way intersection here. And there we go. Right, so I've arrived at my appointment. It was about a 4-block bike ride after that bus ride, and conveniently, there is a MITS stop right there, so that is probably how I will get home, but there we go. Not too bad. Probably took about 20 minutes overall, I would say, so it wasn't too terrible of a ride, but we made it. So as you can see from this map, I started in the downtown, rode my bike a little bit to get to the MITS downtown station, and then from there took about a 15-minute bus ride to near Ball Memorial, and then rode my bike another 5 minutes to get to my doctor's office. Overall, as I was approaching the MITS station, the bus was pretty much there, so it was a pretty quick transfer. And overall, I would say this was a pretty reliable trip and a pretty good system. Really no issues with accessing the bus or getting off of the bus either. One comment I do want to make, though, is that the MITS app did show some inaccuracies. That little blue dot that you see up in the top of the screen is where my location is, and then that little bus symbol is where the bus was being tracked. Where I got off was where the bus actually was, so there was a bit of a lag on the GPS tracking, and I think that could pose some issues if I was, cutting it close to the minute and relying on my app to give me an accurate representation of where the bus was. But overall, the system was pretty reliable other than that. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this project, and I think this was a really valuable experience, and fortunately I was pretty lucky to have good access to transit and just generally had good times in terms of boarding and getting off. I think the story could be different from someone else, and I'm fortunate to have more than just transit in terms of getting to where I need to go. So very interesting project, and thank you for your time.